Hi, I'm Jane, and this is TCOTC Puppy Primer. And today we're going to be training Matt. The first step is just that the dog knows that the mat is valuable, and they go and stand on it, or sit on it, or lay down on it. We're not going to call it anything, we're not going to name it. We're just going to be rewarding them for paying attention to it. Now, your mat should be portable. It's similar to the dog's bed, but those of us with big dogs are not going to be taking their beds with us when we go to the coffee shop, we go to a youth sports event, we go to visit somebody else. We need something portable. So it can be something like this, a crate pad. It could be something similar, like a small towel. It could be a rag rug, just something that you're willing to pack up and take with you when you go someplace. The first step is that we have to be ready with our clicker, our treats, and our mat before we even start. So as soon as I put the mat on the floor, any interaction that the dog has with the mat, and that might be as simple as looking at it, gets clicked and treated. The treats go on the mat. They don't get fed to the dog, they go directly onto the mat. It becomes a magic mat that grows treats. If you place a treat on there, even for just looking at it, most dogs are going to move towards it and may even step on the mat. That gets another click, another treat. If they stay in place, they get clicked and treated. If they leave the mat, the treats stop. Feel free to move around a little bit. That kind of encourages our dogs to move with us. And if they randomly step on the mat, they get clicked and treated. That's the first step. Let's get started.
So we're going to try Otto with a mat today. We've got the mat, I have a dog, I have a clicker, and some treats. So I have to be prepared, so as soon as that mat comes down on the floor, if he does anything with it, even just looks at it, he gets clicked and treated on the mat. So we put it down. Oh, good boy, he actually stepped on it. We're going to feed on there. As long as he's on the mat, he gets fed. And it's a magic mat. It grows cookies. Oh, look at you. What a good boy. What a good boy. Now that is the final behavior that I actually want Otto to give me eventually. But I'm going to continue to build just being on the mat with lots of cookies for being there. Ready? Free. Get the cookie. I release him. He goes back onto it, and I'm going to click and treat him. Free, eat it. That's a good boy. Good job. I want this mat to be really, really valuable. Just being on it. Good boy, that's it. Good job. Free. I release him, and then I wait for him to go back on it. Good boy, good job, what a good boy. Excellent. And that's the first step of mat. I'm not saying anything, I'm just rewarding him for being on it. Free. He goes back to it, he gets clicked and treated. Good boy. Very good boy. Free. And at the end, I pick it up and we're all done.
Let's work on the second part of the mat behavior now. And that is that the dog will move from a little further distance to go to the mat. We've spent a whole bunch of time just rewarding for that mat, for being on the mat. And I didn't care what position they had. This time, I will reward them multiple times for being on the mat. And then I will use their release word and toss a treat or place some treats off of the mat so they go and eat them. I'm going to move around, so my position in relation to the mat is not always the same. The mat is not always in front of me, always next to me. And I vary the distance that I am standing away from the mat. It might be 6 inches, it might be a foot, it might be 2 feet. Every time when I release the dog and the dog goes back to the mat, I'm standing in a different location. So it's not about me, it is about a mat and going to the mat. Eventually, I want to be able to have the dog go at least 5 feet to get to the mat. That takes some time, but we're going to start that training today. Have fun.
2 is about adding distance that the pup or the dog will go to get on their mat. So we're going to warm Otto up first by just getting rewarded several times for being on his mat. Here we go. Good boy. Good job. Excellent boy. Very good. Nice job. All right. Free. I'm going to be a little bit further away, and the goal is that he goes back onto his mat. Every time I practice, I'm going to be changing the distance I'm away from the mat ever so slightly. Free. So I move a little bit, and I click him for getting on the mat. Good boy. Again, Otto is automatically going down, which is what I eventually want. But right now, I just want to really build a lot of strength for being on the mat. Free. I'm going to change where I am in relation to the mat. And he gets rewarded again for being on the mat, for going to the mat. Good boy. Free. I don't always make it harder for him. Sometimes I'm closer. Sometimes I'm further away. Good job, big guy. Good boy. Nice job. Free. Release him from the mat, and then I'm a little bit further away. The goal is that he always goes back to the mat. He gets rewarded a couple of times for being there before I release him again. Free. Good boy. Excellent job. Eventually, I want to work up to being about 5 feet away from the mat, and he will still go towards it. That takes a while to build up to. And right now, I'm not that far away, but we're building towards that. Free. And again, at the end, we pick up the mat, and we're all done. Happy training.